Welcome to the Theatre of Others podcast. My name is Adam Marple, and I'm the co-artistic director of the Theatre of Others. With the COVID-19 pandemic forcing a shutdown and reevaluation of space and gathering, we at the Theatre of Others are thinking about what stories we need and how best we can share them. We believe space is psychology, and it informs the way in which an audience interacts and reacts to what is presented to them. We create uniquely theatrical events in bespoke sensory performance spaces crafted to encourage curiosity and grant the audience permission to commune with the play. Now that that space has moved online, how can we encourage interaction and action amongst an audience virtually? The Theatre of Others produces plays that both welcome and challenge the audience. We are committed to international collaboration and are a laboratory that helps artists grow through intensive study of their craft. The Theatre of Others creates a shared community of artists and audiences for the purpose of exploring the most profound issues of our lives and times. We believe the play watches the audience. The audience is necessary, and they are witness to what happens. And you get to be witness to us making that happen. The purpose of this podcast is to open up our process and let you in. We're peeling back the curtain, so to speak, and encouraging you to follow along, to ponder, prod, and question, to join us and criticize us if need be. Being a witness is no passive task, and it requires much from you. Are you up for the journey? On the podcast today from Melbourne, Australia, are co-artistic directors Budi Miller and myself in Cairo, Egypt. This podcast contains explicit language.
How you doing, Adam Marple?
Wow, I'm doing all right there. How you doing today, Budi?
I'm doing great. Why don't you come up and see me sometime?
Yep.
I
we
love
sure enough,
your
wearing
hat.
hats today.
Do you love my hat?
I love your hat. I so love your hat. It inspired me to wear a hat of my own.
Well, you know, it's the rage.
It is. It's the rage. It's the 1920s, and all the kids are doing it.
Yes, the 20s are back. You see, the 20s are back.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Your beard is getting really thick and voluptuous.
I don't know if it's getting thick. I mean, I am probably due for a haircut, but it's just getting very white is what it's getting.
Oh, up here in the man river.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, you've got the perfect hat for it too.
Well, you know, I gotta start wearing trench coats.
Are you gonna sell me some newspapers? You got a newspaper to sell?
Yep. I have a newspaper to sell. I'm gonna start wearing a trench coat, having an umbrella that'll be as a cane, and I'll start walking with it like this, you know, as I go down the street. Even though it doesn't rain here in Cairo, it's just
I got my Tommy gun in the back.
Perfect. You know what? This is so. It's how old of a man I've become. Last night, so I don't have internet in my apartment yet, and so it's just whatever movies I have on my laptop. And for some reason, the only movie that I could find was It Happened One Night, 1934, Clark Gable and Claudette Colbert. Why do I have this movie on my laptop?
Tell me, do we need to have a talk?
Know. But it's a really good movie, said Old Man River.
Oh shit! Well, you know what I watched
What'd you
watch? Friday.
What'd you watch on Friday?
It's that time of the year.
Okay.
I watched Arrival.
Does that need a time of the year? That's just at any time.
No, yeah,
you can watch it.
I was having a moment.
Mm-hmm.
I was having a moment, and I wanted to watch it, and I was like, I thought that I had saw something new, like a new in, and I waited to the very end because you know when at the top when she's always like, come back to me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know Mandarin. I had this inkling that what the wife says to the Chinese general on her deathbed was come back to me.
Wow.
But I don't speak Mandarin fully yet because I'm still learning.
Right. One of the 18 languages you're learning on Duolingo.
14, thank you.
Okay, sure.
And guess what's getting easier? Hindi alphabet.
Fantastic. Great. You know, if only you had somebody to practice Hindi with.
If only I did. That's all I got to say. If only I did, and we will keep it there. No tea, no shade, but nothing but all tea, all shade.
Akshay, I know you're listening to this. I understand. I understand. I understand.
He absolutely refuses. Like, I have had to turn to cousins and uncles and aunties, Duolingo, begging family members to bring books from India.
I
He's
mean,
trying to keep he's
no,
trying
you
to
got
keep me illiterate. He's trying to
you
keep me illiterate. No, my
you
husband is trying to
have
keep me illiterate.
you have a sister, you have a brother, you have cousins, you have a niece you can all practice with.
I have a mother, I have a father, yes. But I live with an Indian.
Well,
He's trying to keep me. He's trying to keep me illiterate.
it's reverse colonialism.
Adam, he beat me when you ain't here.
I guess this about Akshay. I've seen him. I've been in his presence before. He's
He's got
very
a
aggressive.
hard swing. He's got a heavy hand.
He's very aggressive. If it's one thing that people say about Akshay is how aggressive he is.
Oh my God. See? And how overwhelmingly aggressive he is. You forgot. Overwhelmingly aggressive.
Overwhelmingly aggressive.
He's probably rolling his eyes right now. Or
Exactly.
pushing
He's
fast
unsubscribing.
forward.
He's unsubscribing is what he's doing.
No, I know, knowing my husband, he'll never unsubscribe because he has to know what kind of antics I'm getting up to. That he's like, what kind of trouble is this boy going to get into that I need to get us out of? He's keep an eye on me.
Mm-hmm. That's true. That's probably true.
He's got one eye on me and one eye on the rest of his life.
So he's cross-eyed. Okay, cool.
Do you like my fashion?
Is that velvet? What is that? Velour?
Baby, you know it is. You know it is.
Crushed purple velvet.
That's right, baby. Look. Ooh.
And what is?
Do you see what's on my chest?
You know, I think you've shown me this before, and I said it was Diamond Dallas Page, who's an American wrestler, and you said, and then you rolled your eyes just like you did right there. What does DDP stand for?
Dapper Dan Puma, baby.
Okay.
Wait, no. We don't just okay Dapper Dan. Do you know who Dapper Dan is? Do I have to re-educate you again? The work I have to do on you.
Not a clue.
Do you know Gucci?
I've heard of it. Is that a shoe? Is that a loafer?
It's Italian. It is an Italian brand.
Oh, Italian's pretty great. I love Italian.
What? Food or clothing or people?
People, food. I used to live in Italy, so yeah, I love Italian.
How are you living in Italy and don't know who Gucci is?
I know who Gucci is.
Didn't you watch The House of Gucci with Lady Gaga with her Russian accent?
With those bad accents.
The House of Gucci. You come to the House of Gucci. I'm Donatella, and I'm from the House of Gucci.
So Adam Driver is in Ferrari now, and somebody I saw somebody yesterday, and they said, oh, I just saw Ferrari. I was like, oh, how was it? How was his accent? And that was the only thing I wanted to know about the movie was how was the accent? And they said, no, the movie is actually really good. I was like, right. How's the accent? So we'll never know. But apparently Ferrari is a good movie with Adam Driver, good actor.
Well, yeah, okay.
They couldn't find a real Italian to play the part, though.
Trust. Can Italians act?
I don't know.
I did watch season 2 of White Lotus. Those Italians could act.
I haven't seen White Lotus, so I don't know what you're referring to, but I haven't seen it.
What is wrong with you, Adam? You don't know who Gucci is? You've never seen White Lotus? Have you ever seen an Italian actor?
Does Roberto Benigni count? I mean, let me see. There's a De Niro, Pacino.
Like a real Italian.
Well, I lived in Italy.
Homegrown.
I was in Italy and I was working in a theater, so yes.
You lived in Italy, don't know who Gucci is. Well, anyway, Dapper Dan.
Okay, back to this. Yes.
Was a
Italian
designer for Gucci. He's the one who gave Gucci like the OG in the cut street cred.
Okay. Well,
The
2
Gucci
snaps for him.
sneaker.
There we go. 2 snaps.
Yeah, he deserves more than 2 snaps. Give him 3 at least. And a head twirl. Come on, Adam. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That see, you get there. So Dapper Dan is why I've decided to be Dapper Boutte. Wear my Italian hat. This is Italian. This is Giorgio Armani. That's Italian too. Did you know that? I know so much Italian. Salve. Salve.
Allora.
Do you know what that means? Do you know? Allora. You know what? I think you know what would be really good is if we had a real Italian on the podcast.
There we go. There we go.
What are you trying to say?
I'm saying, this transition, we've been in it for a while.
Yes. Well, apparently we can't say segue anymore. Julian Elijah Martinez says segue is not a word. It's a thing. It's a thing you drive. Wait a minute. Hold on. Segue is a word. So Shalia Latour, we were in a call. Shalia was like, she called Miss Miriam, and Shalia was like, it's transition. It's a transition. So we can say segue.
Yes, exactly.
We're gonna segue. I want to know, how do you say segue in Italian? Maybe peut-être.
I don't know. If only we had it.
You know what? I'm going to call the gods. Yes, we need an Italian. I'm going to call the gods. Hold on a second.
Oh, God.
Yes, like that. Oh, God. God, please. Please. Listen to our prayer. Because life is a mystery. Everyone must stand up. Oh, my God. What's that? That's an Italian. Who's that? We have an Italian on the line. Wow! It's my favorite Italian too. Oh my God! Fabio Motta recently married. He's a married man, ladies.
Hey, congratulations!
Yay!
Thank you. Buonasera, buongiorno. I should say
buonasera.
And buongiorno to Adam. Yeah.
Thank you. Grazie.
Yeah, I'm so excited to be here. This is amazing.
I love your hat.
Thank you. Yes, got the memo. Yeah. This is in Sicilian we call this agopola, which is
agopola,
which is the beret, Sicilian beret. But it's also been adapted in New York. I've actually got this in New York, because my Sicilian one got stolen in New York.
Of course.
Agopola.
Agopola. Yeah.
Yeah, baby. Well, I wore mine because I knew that Fabio was going to be on the line, and he don't play when it comes to fashion. Why? Because he's Italian. Italians don't play.
Who is this person, Budi? Who is this person besides Italian?
And non-binary conforming individuals, please welcome to the stage our beautiful Italian stud, Papi Chulo. He is an actor. He is an award-winning actor. He is a Italian. He's an Australian. He's a married man. He's a teacher. He teaches clown. He teaches complicité. He teaches Fitzmaurice voice work. He's one of my dear, dear friends here in Australia, mate. And I am conquering the world of actors training with him here in Australia. Please welcome to the stage the great Fabio Motta! Yay!
Oh my goodness. What an introduction. Thank you. Thank you both. It's so great to be here.
Oh my God. It's amazing. It's so amazing because you are a fan of the pod.
Mm-hmm. I'm a huge fan of the pod. Yeah. I really love it. I listen to it almost every week. And it's just so great. So thank you both for doing what you're doing. It's such an honor to be here.
Oh my God, I'm so happy you're here.
Thank you for being here. I remember it was last year, and I was over in Melbourne for Budi's PhD performance, Kool-Aid and Wine, And I remember being there in the space, and I remember you like there, like smiling and just kind of like waving at me. I was like, "Who the fuck is this guy? I don't like why I don't know you. Like, what's going on?" But because you listened to the podcast, you thought, "Oh, okay, Adam. Yes, of course, I know him. I've listened to him every single week." And then you finally introduced yourselves. And I was like, "Oh, right, of course, Fabio. Yes,
Adam
love
will
doing
make
the
a
show."
horrible celebrity. He'll make
I
a
would.
horrible celebrity.
Why are these people looking at me? Why are they smiling and wanting a picture? What's going on? Yeah, totally, totally, totally.
Yeah, I
Everyone's
felt like
like,
I
I
knew you.
thought he was black.
It's a couple of people have said that. Yes, exactly. That's how much street cred I have.
That's how
Whoa,
much
really?
work I've done on you. Well, that's how much work I've done on you.
Exactly. I have soul. Hmm.
It's hard work. Hard work turning a white man black.
Exactly.
Fabio, hi.
Hi.
Do me a favor.
Yeah.
Tell our guests why you're so fabulous. What what got you into theater? Why theater, mister? Why do you do
Mm.
theater? Because you are a consummate theater artist, and that's your bag. I know so much about you. Why theater? Why is theater so important?
Because it's alive, because it lives in the here and now. And theater is yeah, I mean, I was always curious as a little child. I guess I was always performing since I was 8. I would introduce myself to strangers, kind of pull at them, to pull at their legs and be like, "Hey, my name is Pepetto Motta." That's how I introduced myself, Pepetto Motta. And who are you? And and then I'd introduce my brother. This is Akich, Alex, and I always felt the need to kind of contact people. And then when I would see performances or live music, I really felt like it was speaking to me very strongly. So I think I knew I wanted to be an actor since I was about 9 years old. Really, I think I shared this story in another podcast with Budi. Um, that I was watching Dr. Zhivago with my dad one night in Italy, and I was watching this film. Like I think I was 7 or 8 at the time, and I was watching all of Doctor's. It's a 7-hour film for those who don't know Doctor's. Is it Shivago? I say Zivago in Italian. How do you
I
say
like
it?
Zivago. I like
Zivago.
Zivago. It's
Okay,
better.
Dr.
It's much
Zivago.
better.
And I was literally following this whole film. My dad thought I'd be asleep. But I wasn't. I watched the whole film, and at the end of the movie, I asked, "What's going on? Are these real people, or why is he having an affair? What's going on? Are they dying for real?" And my dad's like, "No, this is a movie. These are actors. They're just playing. They're pretending." And from that moment, I was like, "Yep, that's what I want to do."
Mm.
So and then every time I'd watch a film, I'd go to school and start to kind of act out the movie that I watched the night before, and got everyone involved as well. I casted everyone. I literally was devising theater before I even knew what it was. So that's how I got into it from a very young age. And then obviously growing up, you go to school, you start to take drama classes, and then you just continue to pursue it.
I think what's really fantastic about your story is you didn't go the normal like grad
Mm.
school actor trainee route. So tell us your journey, your history of
Your
like
hero's
of,
journey.
because this is the thing. It's like so many people think that they've got to go to a drama school or be at a grad school in order to have a career as a theater artist or even an actor.
Yeah. Well, no, I went a different. I mean, I wanted to be part of that route, but fate had a different journey for me. I guess. Yeah. When I finished high school, I auditioned for the big drama schools. I got through a couple of stages, but didn't get in. I was told I was too young. I needed to literally have my heart broken. That was one of the feedback. Go out there, have your heart broken, and come back to us. You're too young. You want this too much. And I was really confused by that. So I decided to work, and then I went off to Italy, and I did a course in Commedia dell'arte. And I thought that was a good place to start because obviously I grew up with, doing Commedia dell'arte, being part of Italian theater companies. And a friend of mine recommended this course in Venice. So I went over there, and it was literally one of the greatest experiences of my life because Yeah, it was mask work. It was play. It was complicity. It was really about contacting the audience and going back to the origins of theater in a way, because Commedia actually, I don't know if you guys know this, but we have theater companies because of the Commedia troops that they actually, the Gelosi, I think it was around the 15th, 16th century, and they actually formed a contract saying we are now performers and we have rights and we look after each other, and this is a company and we tour together and work together. So it was really the beginning of my theater education, studying Commedia dell'arte. And then I came back and was working in a company that did Commedia and was doing a lot of Commedia shows. And then once again, I went, I didn't let that stop. I went back to the drama schools and once again got really, really close to the very last round where I just needed to get a phone call. Bang, shut down again. No. And I was really pissed. This time I was angry because I was like, why am I not getting in? What's wrong with me? I had my heart broken. I went to Venice. I had my heart broken. I fell in love with this beautiful Spanish girl. She was 5 years older than me. I lied about my age. I told her I was 19. I was really 18. You know, she broke my heart. She went off somewhere. But yeah, I mean, what am I doing wrong? So after that, I just continued to train. I just didn't let that stop me. I went to New York. I studied at HB Studio. And I just kind of kept following my nose until a friend of mine was like, you should do clowning. And I was like, what do you mean by that? What's clowning? And I automatically thought it was just an extension of Commedia. I mean, I like Commedia. Clowning something similar. It's not. So it is part of the tradition, obviously. Commedia and I mean, the origins of clowning come from Commedia. But I went off to Paris
The
and
origins of Red Nosed Clown.
yeah, the red-nosed clown. Yeah, come from the tradition of Commedia. So yeah, after that, I went to study at École Philippe Gauliere, and I was like, wow, this is the kind of work I want to be doing for the rest of my life. It was a really amazing experience, and then I kept kind of learning from different teachers. I went to the States. I studied with Zack, and then that led me to Chris Bays, and then that led me to eventually Giovanni Fusetti and other clown teachers, Eric Davis. And then I met Budi and I was like, oh my God, you're a clown teacher too. And it was just, it was wonderful. And I really see it as a foundation to actor training. Like my clown work has really given me a perspective and a framework on why I think acting is important and what an actor needs. I think you have to kind of study clowning. I think all the best actors in a way have done some clowning before, because it's really about contacting that sense of pleasure and that generosity of spirit, being brave enough to reveal and contact your own truth as a performer and being able to share it generously with an audience. And every time I see someone clowning, or in a classroom especially, contacting that muscle when the clown state kicks in, my heart opens up and I'm like, wow, this is really the best place. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else right now. This is really really special.
Yeah. So talk to them about the difference between one clown teacher and two clown teachers. What
Yeah, I
happens
mean,
with two?
it's fascinating because yeah, working with with Budi, or having two clown teachers in the space, um, just really allows the student to I think have a different perspective on the work. And sometimes a clown teacher might say something, and the other one's like, "Oh yeah, and this," and we're constantly yes-anding each other, so that the student's really getting a very rich experience. And the concept of being a guru, being the clown guru, or the teacher that defines what's funny and what's not funny, or what's working, what's not working, that automatically gets dissolved,
Yeah.
because there's definitely a sense of a collective, and ultimately the two teachers are really balancing the space for the
Yeah.
rest of the class to kind of see, oh, when the clown state is present and when it's not.
And it's decolonizing the space, really. So we don't have a hierarchy of like, oh, that one teacher knows every single thing about what is funny. And if I don't get it right, then I'm not funny. But then you have You have two teachers that are laughing at primarily, essentially the same thing. Oh, well, and then the it becomes this collective in the sense where like the audience really matters then, because you can't fixate on trying to please one person. You begin to want to please everyone.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's no clown without an audience. So that once we kind of contact that collective laugh, that honest moment of truth where everyone's laughing, and some people call it the red zone,
Mhm.
that's the sweet spot. That's really the
Yeah.
moment where something has come through and you're in it. You're in the clown state, you're playing, and we love you. And we hope your body remembers because we want you to do it again. And do more of that, please.
Yeah, yeah. Well, how does clown affect dramatic acting?
Well, first of all, you're exercising your emotional muscles. So it's really about contacting what's truthful, what's real, where your pleasure is at today, and being able to share that with the audience. And the clown lives in the present moment. So if you're not present and you're not breathing, um, you can't be happy or sad. There's no drama. So that's the muscle that clowning is constantly forcing you to look at. Is where is my pleasure? How can I share this? And the pleasure changes. Maybe my pleasure is to have a really big cry today because I'm feeling a little depressed, and that's my
Mm,
truth today, and I'm going to sing a little song about it, or I'm going to
mhm,
just do my thing with this truth, and the audience recognizes that. And also I think it really deals with resilience, which I think is
mm.
a fundamental skill if you want to be an artist, because you just
If you
constantly
want to
get
be a human.
exactly, yeah, we constantly get rejected in this industry and in
Yeah,
life, and
yeah.
clowning is all about learning from our failures. It's like you can't really fail if you're constantly in a state of play. So you get knocked down and you're like, oh god, that was horrible, you flop, but you're kind of accepting that moment. If you accept that flop, then something might emerge that's completely
Mhm,
new, that surprises you and surprises the audience, and we go, oh my god, what's that? That's amazing, follow that. But if we pretend like everything's okay when it's not, then we hate you a little bit. The
mhm,
audience just smells bullshit, and we
mhm,
go,
mhm.
well, that's shit. So and I think an actor really needs to understand that. And fundamentally, it's about taking the work seriously, but not yourself seriously.
Mhm,
And there's something
mhm.
really profound about about being a fool. It's really important because we might not feel very comfortable. The audience might be laughing. We might not be enjoying it. So we go, I'm not having any fun with this. There's no pleasure in this. But actually, it's what we like. It's what we're seeing that you might not be aware of just yet. And most of the
Yeah,
time in life, we place all these billboards in front of us to the socialized self. We protect ourselves. And the clown forces us to just get rid of that. Like, what's behind the billboard? Let's remove that bullshit and let's see the real juicy, vulnerable, open, honest, ferocious, fragile human being that you are. And once we see that, that's what makes a great actor, I think. That's what makes a real beautiful, alive human.
100%. I mean, this is why clown exists in every single culture.
Yeah.
It's what we are. It's part of what makes us human beings. And I think that like yeah, it's so you so beautifully articulated it, to where I would say, and that's why you get modern contemporary shamanics from clown training, because of this sense of wholeness and that we are all the same, right? So there's this energetic communal experience that happens. So when a teacher is guiding you into these spaces, it's shamanics, because you're embodying the truth.
Yeah. And also, you're not afraid to go to places where you wouldn't normally go to. Does that
Yeah.
make sense? So shamans
Yep.
travel through different realms.
Yeah.
They go to the underworld. They go to
Yeah.
the upper world. They go into, and in a way, that's kind of the work that you're doing in clowning. And what we hope to do as clown teachers is just to give them a little nudge and a poke, and really the idea is to empower someone to explore more of themselves. And they
Hmm.
go, oh, that's allowed too. I'm allowed to be fragile. I'm allowed to be pissed off. I can live in this. and it's funny. And then we explore the comic world, and then there's something funny about this. And we might not find the funny as the clown, as the performer.
Right.
We might be confused why the audience is laughing,
Yeah.
but something is happening. A profound truth has been, and it's healing. Like when I went to Gauliere for the first time, I mean, I struggled so much, like a lot of people have, but something really beautiful happened that changed my life forever. I remember because I was standing there in front of everyone and I was just flopping. I was just trying so hard to be funny, and I never really saw myself as a funny person. Even today, I don't think I'm very funny. Like I don't try to be funny. I'm not a comedian. All these comedians, when you speak to a comedian, they're constantly trying jokes on you, and it pisses me off. It's like I'm not your trial audience. Just talk to me like a human being. I'm not I just want to see you, like anyway, but that's besides the point. So I was there, trying really hard. And I just gave, in that moment, I just gave up. I looked at Philippe, I looked at the audience, and I stopped and I said, I'm bad at this. This is not working out. It's not good. It's bad. And suddenly some people started laughing, and I'm like, no, please, I'm serious. Like, I think that's it. I'm done. I've had enough. And more laughter. And then I started to bawl my eyes out, like, please. And it felt like I was sashiming my heart and just feeding it like a sushi train. And everyone was in hysterics. And I was like, please. And then Philippe now I was ready to play. Now I was sensitive enough to play. And then he started to play with me. And he was like, you studied with so-and-so? And I said, yeah. Were you good? Yes. And then I realized maybe not. So there was this beautiful game of kind of having hope, trying to maintain a little bit of dignity, but then realizing, no, I'm shit. I'm crap at this. Yeah. And it was so powerful because he said to me, this was really beautiful. He said to me at the end of it, that was so good, but you will not be able to do that again. And I thought, wow, what a wonderful provocation. And I left that room and I went, how the fuck do I do that again? Because I can't go there anywhere. I can't go there and put on now a facade that everything was okay. Everyone saw me take a shit on stage and kind of play with it for a bit and put it on my face and have a little cry about my shit, So, but what was beautiful was something happened in my body, which was sensitivity. I learned to be sensitive. And I knew that now that I come on stage again, I can't go back like I did before. I have to bring this sensitivity. But will the tears come again? Maybe not. But what was the feeling in the body? What was the state? Okay, that was and that's an open state. And from that place of openness, I can contact that. I can go there and then trust that something will emerge. Take a breath. Trust that something will emerge. And it did. It happened again and then again. And then the sadness became mischief. And then became a bit erotic, a bit sexual. I don't know why, but it just happened, but it's this beautiful state of being open and sensitive so the clown gods can come through and play. And that's the kind of work I love. And that's why I loved, also coming to Bali and working with you, Budi, and I know, Adam, you're there as well doing the wonderful workshops in Bali, because it's the same thing with Balinese masks. It's about and playing the musical instruments.
Gamelan.
Yes, the gamelan. And so it's about achieving this place of complete openness and surrender. As soon as you start thinking, as soon as you try to solve the comic problem or try to solve, it's gone. You have to stay open. You have to be willing to be okay with uncertainty. And then the gods can come through and play with you and move you and take you to places that you never thought you would go, or where the mask wants to take you, or the rhythm of the gamelan, where your hand starts moving by itself without you actually realizing why it's moving that way. The moment you start to think about it, it's gone. And that's the kind of work I want to do for the rest of my life, because it feels like a prayer, and it feels like being part of something bigger than ourselves. But also it feels like just tapping into the potential, our human potential, how infinite we are, that we can really make a choice to embody anything and everything in the world. We can choose to simply shift our posture, and we see the world from a completely different perspective. And that's what the word character means. A character is like carattere. It comes from the Latin word, which is like an imprint of something. So if something gets imprinted, it takes a form, a shape. And now I walk around the world with this form and shape, and I take in the world. And this affects my breath and my rhythm. And then I start having a point of view about the world because of my form, because of my shape. And then I can go into neutral. I can let that go and take another form and experience the world through that form. So Jacques Lecoq called it the states of play. You know, that in mask work, you inhabit the state of the mask. In clown, you inhabit the state of the clown. In Buffon, it's a different state of play. It's about, parody and satire and really aiming at the audience, at the laugh. You're laughing at the audience, and compared to the clown, where the audience laughs at the clown. And it's just I think theater training is really about learning how expansive you are as a human. So we can never be identified with something. We can never go, I am this, I'm Fabio, I'm Italian, I'm this. No. I am Fabio and I was born in Italy and migrated to Australia. That's a story, right? But then I can put a mask on and all of a sudden I'm completely seeing the world from a different perspective. I'm allowing myself to be the pantalone, the miser, and and see what that feels like in the body. And that's the beauty of acting. It's play. It's getting to play. And we forget that as actors because we're so focused on our actions and objectives and doing our homework. But fundamentally, you're just playing. You're just there to play.
Yeah. Amen, brother. Hallelujah.
But the thing that pisses me off is that playing sometimes people take it as for granted, like, oh, play is easy. No, there's actually a method to how to play well. Yeah. There's actually a tool, there's a practice, and there's chapters. So chapter 1, to play well and to find complicity. Chapter 1 is coming to self. So I can't really be there with someone unless I'm open. I'm in that state of openness. I'm in that state of I'm aware of what I'm feeling today. I'm here. I'm present. Yeah. Chapter 2 is I gotta really focus on you. I gotta find something cool about playing. You two, we got 3 hats. Like we could do so many things now with these 3 hats, right? Like, so we have to really look at the other person and find where is our complicity? How do we find something together? And then chapter 3 is finding the pleasure to play. Something will emerge from simply, but it's actually a muscle that we have to exercise. Yeah. We can't take play for granted. People just think, oh, play, that's easy. Oh, I'm not going to do a workshop on play. I know how to play. I do improv. Yeah, improv. Yeah, exactly. Improv is sometimes, not always, but sometimes it's connected to ideas and keeping the ball up and saving the show. But actually, clowning is different in a way because we actually sometimes we just have to
let it fall apart.
Yeah.
I also, and see the way that you talk about clown, once again, falls into the realm of spiritual practice because it's about self-inquiry. So it's like you're in pain. I'm in pain. I hurt. I'm shit. I'm good. I'm great. I'm fantastic. I'm a loser. I'm never going to get this. And by fully accepting that, you find the opening of self. So, and we're talking about the self within the constructs of Sanskrit, of the self being Brahma, being Atman, being the soul, being the spirit, being the God in us, being the God in you, being that thing that cannot be destroyed. So the self seeing the self, and that's clown. Clown is self seeing the self. That's also taksu, self seeing the self
through others, right? Because the clown needs an audience. Without an audience, there's no clown.
Through you, I know myself.
That's right.
Right?
Exactly.
Through you, I know myself.
Yeah, that's why I love you guys, the theater of others, because you really understand the value of an audience. That the audience, clown doesn't exist without an audience. If we're not listening deeply to, is this working? Do they like this? Should I do more? Should I stop? Should I do less? Then the play's dead. And often in theater, actors just keep going, just keep telling that, and we're just sitting there, we're falling asleep, and they don't even realize we're falling asleep.
Uh-huh.
They just keep going with the thing that they've rehearsed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's not, we have to take in the audience. We have to take they're the ones who paid for a ticket, and we have to, even though we don't necessarily address them or break the fourth wall, there has to be an awareness of the audience and what's happening. I remember watching this was in New York. I was watching scenes from a marriage at the New York Theatre Workshop, and these two actors were doing this really big dramatic scene, and the wife and the husband were fighting, blah 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 blah, and the wife picks up this wine glass and throws it at the husband, and it goes all over his shirt. But I happened to sit in the front row, and it went all over my face. And the husband, I don't know how he was aware of this. The actor playing the husband felt something hit me, looks at his wife, picks up a napkin and says, "How could you?" Turns around, hands me the napkin and says, "I'm so sorry about that." And that moment was like unbelievable. It was like I felt I was now in the show. I was invested. And what a beautiful action to play. That is, if we were to Stanislavski, it's like to shame you, right? But I can't do that. I can't actually physically play that action unless I'm in the here and now. And now this has happened, and I'm sensitive enough to be aware that someone got wet behind me. So now I can really use this moment to still stay in the world of the play, but bring the audience along for the ride. And now I'll never forget that. That's one of the most profound experiences I had, versus another time when I went to the theater on Broadway, and I saw a very famous actor. I won't name any names or anything, but an actor.
Name names. No. What's the name?
No, it's all right.
Name the name. Who was it?
All right. It were really great actors in this cast, but particularly
name names.
No, I'm not. Nah, I'm Sicilian. If I name names, I'm in trouble.
No. But you're also black because you're Sicilian. Name names.
Okay, it was The River. I saw The River on Broadway, and one of the actors.
Who was in The River?
Stage, huh?
Who was in The River?
Hugh Jackman, but Hugh Jackman was great. He was wonderful.
Who was the others?
I can't remember who the other. Actually, one of them was actually an actor that I ended up working with later on, who was really good. But there was another actor. I can't remember her name. I didn't look. But
you blocked her out. Okay, you blocked her out. Okay.
Yeah.
Why'd you block her out, Fabio?
Yeah, she walked out and she dropped a pillow as she was walking on stage. The stage was like, she dropped this pillow and it fell off the stage. And now, of course, everyone's looking at this pillow. And she knows the pillow has fallen. And it's so embarrassed. She can't stop her walk, so she just keeps walking and ignores it. But we've completely lost interest in the story. We're now really worried about the pillow. Is the pillow coming back on stage? What's happening with this pillow? And it was so wonderful because these two little old ladies, were sitting in the front row, and they just pick up the pillow and they gently put it back on the stage. And the moment they do that, the whole audience just starts applauding.
Wow. Wow.
I was like, yes, thank you for that.
Yeah. Exactly.
And now we're on board. Now we're back on track.
Well, so okay, so I think the listeners need to hear this because, and this is not me tooting my horn. This is me letting Adam hear how good he is, because Adam he's always down on himself. Please tell him your opinion of Kool-Aid and wine.
I loved Kool-Aid and wine. What? Why, Adam? What's happening? What do you mean?
Tell Adam how you felt about Kool-Aid and wine, because he needs to hear how wonderful he is.
It sounds like you need to sound how wonderful you are because you are the actor in the show. It has nothing to do with me.
Yeah, but you directed it.
I created a performance environment for you. That's what I did. I basically just put up some constraints around you. That's all I was able to do. I reined you in from going places that would take the audience out of what you were trying to get them to do. That's what I did.
Well, you did a good job at it, Adam. You did a really good job at reining the place. No, because really, honestly, it was the first time I went into a space where I was welcomed. I was fed. from the moment I arrived. I arrived and automatically there was a sense of community, and I was fed and was talking to my fellow audience members. And then I came in and I was welcomed in the space by Budi, and you were playing as self, Budi. Like there was no character, there was no Budi the performance, the performer. It was Budi telling us this story. And then you started to go into all these different characters, the masks, and the way the stage was set. There were all these masks behind you and props that have meant so much to your life. And it was just, I was so invested. So my wife is a vet, right? And I never take her to the theater because she hates the theater. She hates it. It's because she works with
My husband's
animals.
the same. My husband's the same. He's like, no, I'm not going.
Yeah, so really have to drag her along. But she was curious to see you, Budi. She was like, "I'll come along. I'll see Budi. I'll see Adam. I'll see what they're up to. What they." And she was engaged the whole time. Like, she works with animals, so animals and children, they're always going to steal the show because they live in the present moment, and they're like, they're clowns. They're emotionally available. They're free. And she was engaged the whole time, and it was a long show. We've lost track of time. We were brought into the experience so deeply. And what was beautiful, what I loved about the end, is we were all so willing to just celebrate the work that you both had done on this show with an applause and standing up and going, "Yeah, this is amazing." But we didn't have the permission to do that. Not that you didn't have the permission. You just went, go outside, have some more refreshments, and come back and have a look at the masks. And for me, you took out the ego. The moment that why people sometimes want to be actors is this need to be loved. I've done this work. Look how good I am. Standing ovation. Wow. But actually, it's bigger than that. And that's what I learned from Kool-Aid and Wine. It was that it wasn't about. It was just about being in a story, being part of that story, hearing the story. And as much as I wanted to celebrate it, it was there. It was just there. It lived in me. I really could connect with a lot of things that you experienced in your life, Budi, and it was told wonderfully. And then when I came back, I just felt like a family member coming back to a house and going, "Hey, you want a cup of tea? You want to look at these masks?" And all I wanted to do was like, "Oh my God, that was incredible. Both of you just did such an..." And I remember going up to you both, even you, Adam, and like saying how much I loved the show, because it really shifted my perspective on theater, especially from an actor's perspective, where we have so much pressure at the end of a show to go, was that good? Did they like it? Did they love me? And I think that was in that performance that was taken out, and it was so freeing to just go, just do the work, just tell the story. It's not about you. You just got to be sensitive and open and let the story move through you. Get out of your way, man. Like, it's not about you. I love that.
Well, that was part of my segue. My segue into next Melbourne Fringe. What's happening next Melbourne Fringe? Fabio, Adam Marple.
Don't you love how he just announces things and then, and then just like, well, shit, now we got to do it.
Dun, 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 dun,
This is being recorded. This is live. This people are gonna hear this. We're gonna be held
This is
accountable.
it. What's happening? This year's all about accountability, and I'm still waiting on your recording, Fabio. You're supposed to be calling speedpike.com/Theater of Others
Yes, yes.
to give the goal for your life change.
Yes, I'll get onto that.
You were sequestered. So what's happening? What's happening at the Melbourne Fringe next year?
Next year, yeah, 2025. Yes, yes.
Yeah, what's happening? Oh, 2025. Is that what it's happening?
Yeah, I think so. I think we should. Yeah.
Okay. What's happening in 2025?
I don't know, Adam. What's happening in 2025?
I
You
was
gotta
told,
gaslight me, you two.
I
Don't
was told
gaslight
a-
me, you two.
I was told a title and a date. That's all I have. So Fabio, this is on you.
Fabio.
There is the potential, and the desire, and the drive to collaborate together, along with hopefully Jack and the Theater of Others and everyone in the company, to make a really radical mask clown buffonesque show. Should we reveal the theme? It's too soon.
Yes, I think yes. I think we should say who the actors are.
Yeah.
Who are the actors,
We had a
Fabio?
brief conversation about.
This is
Who are
how
the
he does
actors,
things.
Fabio?
This is how he does things.
Who are the actors, Fabio?
You're in it,
Uh-huh.
Woody
And who
Miller.
else?
I'll
Uh-huh.
I'll love to play. I'll come along if you'll have me.
Fabio Motta, the Italian, the blacks, the blacks and the Sicilians, the
Yes.
Negroes and the Sicilians.
Yeah.
Directed by Adam Marple.
Adam's directing. Directed by Adam Marple.
Jack is composing.
Jack
Hey,
is composing. Hello.
JDB.
And I'm sure we'll figure out a cast along the way as well.
What's the title of the show at the moment?
At the moment, it's a working title.
What's the working title?
Working title is Tall Poppy.
Oh, what's Tall Poppies, Fabio?
Tall Poppy is in Australia. We have this thing called the Tall Poppy syndrome, where as soon as you start to stand out, we automatically want to cut you down and make you the same height as the rest of the poppies. And I think as outsiders, in a way, that's really fascinating. That could make for some really juicy content. And insiders too. I'm sure everyone's felt it. So, the cool thing about playing in the realm of Buffon is that you're playing all the different points of view. So it's not just one point of view; it's everyone's point of view. I mean, it's quite a juicy theme.
And those of you tall poppers out there, you're not safe. We're coming for you. So yes, so we're going to collaborate. We're going to make something. It's going to be amazing. Are you ready, Adam Marple?
I mean, you've given me a title and you've given me a date. That's got nothing to react to.
And I've given you actors.
Yeah.
Award-winning actors.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Fabio, what award did you win here in Australia?
Oh, come on, Budi. I'm sweating. And it's like I am.
What's the award? I still have my 100-day cough, so I can't do much talking. What's the award?
It was a Green Room Award.
What's the Green Room Award?
It's an award by an association called the Green Room. And they were. I was very blessed to have them come along to see Spot, the show. Yeah.
And what was the award for?
Best performer in independent theater.
Wow.
The best. I love the blush.
Adam, you're going to be working with the best. You're working with the best.
Yeah, I'm very
glad. Look how red he is. He's so red. Fabio is being red.
I'm a capsican. I mean, yeah. I mean, look, it's yeah.
I am so honored to get to work with a Green Room Award winner.
Stop it. No, but yeah. I'm just sweating.
Right? I don't know if you can see the video.
I'm just like
red and sweating.
I'm red. I'm sweaty. I'm
really good at making a white man blush because Adam's red too. Look at you two are beet red. My goodness. Remind me to play poker with you two. I know exactly how to play. Well, I think that's a good start of our introduction of Fabio Motta. He's a fantastic teacher and a fantastic performer. Indeed. I think we should come back with some provocations and talk about some of the stuff that Fabio and I are doing in Melbourne that people can sign up for.
Yes.
Yeah. How's that sound, boys?
Great.
Okay, let's take a break. Ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to the stereo sounds of J D B. Jack David Burmester. And we're back! Wow, Jack. I love the circus theme. Wow. An Italian circus theme. Wow. He's so kind to our guests.
Yeah. I love how you're already playing with motifs for tall poppies and everything. It's fantastic. Yeah.
He's incredible. He's incredible. He's incredible. He's incredible. So, Adam, we're at provocations. Can you we know Fabio is an avid listener.
He's well versed
and a big fan.
Yes.
But we may have some new listeners on the
Yes.
call, which I'm sure we are now that we have Fabio on the line because his following is vast. So, can you let our listeners know as well what a provocation is?
So we like to leave our listeners with something to do besides just passively listening to us. We want you to read something, watch something, see something, do something, think about something. So we ask our guests to leave our audience with a question, something that's burning in your mind, or a provocation to do something that you were looking at or reading or watching, or things that you think will spark a conversation in them to further things going on. Like we are going to be asking all of our guests now a provocation, which is, what's the definition of theater?
Yes.
And so,
yes.
But we want to know what your provocation is before you answer our provocation.
Yes.
So what are you thinking about? What are you dealing with? What's on your mind, Fabio?
What's your provocation, Fabio?
I had them written down, but now it's kind of shifting. It's like it's changing. Well, because you've mentioned because you threw the card of the show, I'm just gonna. Maybe there are listeners out there who are curious about making a show or a solo show.
And by the way, Fabio, I also need to say that your show inspired my show because I saw your show twice before I did my show, and I was like, "Yes, that's what I want to do. Like that's the world I want people to be experiencing in this one person performance of like, yeah." And it also reminded me of the work that I had to do. It's like Fabio is turning this shit out, and it's green room worthy. And I was like, oh, I gotta be good. I gotta work hard because Fabio, his spot is all over the show. It was fantastic. So yes, you inspired me. So no wonder you got so inspired because it's your work was in it.
Oh, well, thank you, Budi. Thank you, means so much. Thank you.
It's true. It's true. Okay, so you were gonna give a provocation.
Yeah. Provocation. I guess just being interested is the provocation. Being interested. So if you're, it's a two-part thing. The first part is, how do you be interested more in life? And that requires breath. So sometimes when you're going to meet someone for the first time, are you actually holding your breath when you're shaking their hand, or can you allow yourself to breathe them in and breathe them out, and let contact them with your exhalation? And be curious about the people that you're seeing, the things that are around you, the world, your environment. Just kind of play with this idea of being interested. And from that place, what are you interested in telling the world? What are you interested in sharing with the world? Is something inspiring you? Right now, I'm working on creating something, and I'm really curious about the relationship between um, the profane and the profound, like the role of the jester, um, the idea of kind of clowns that have always existed also in spiritual practice. I'm really curious about the shaman clown. So that's what I'm interested about. So that's the number one question. What are you actually interested about? Be interested in others and the world around you, but also what are you interested about? And once you know that, then let yourself daydream. And that doesn't necessarily mean, write a show or get on your laptop and start writing. It could just mean make a playlist of all the music that inspires you that you could potentially see in the show, or start drawing, or start ordering some books. Just be interested. Allow the world to feed your imagination. Allow the interest to kind of build until it becomes, until a road reveals itself to you that you may follow, that you can kind of go on a journey on. That's the provocation. Is that a
I
provocation?
love that. That
Yes.
is a provocation, baby.
Yes.
That is definitely a provocation. Yeah, I love that. Because that's literally how every single one of our plays gets made.
It's true.
Tell me more about it.
Well, the last play that we did started from interest because we were um, looking at what a sustainable project would be that wasn't because a lot of our plays are post-apocalyptic. We like the end of the world.
We
And
don't like the end of the world.
how do we create a play that doesn't that people go, we can still do something? How do we get people to lean in and breathe and be affected and moved and want to do something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Adam, how
No,
would
I mean
you
it
answer
was
Fabio's?
there were a lot of not constraints, but we imposed constraints on ourselves of this has got to be completely sustainable in terms of there can be no footprint left behind. It's got to be ephemeral and live, but also talking about a very possibly depressing topic, climate change. We're going to set it in the future, which means we have blown past all the targets and goals and we have gotten to what the future is going to be, but we can't leave them in a dystopian, depressed mood because we're talking to people who still can influence and make those changes happen. So it's got to be a celebration of and fight uh, for that change, taking the point of view from the global south, who it will affect the most, without being preachy, didactic, or science involved at all. So, like all of those constraints, and literally, we go to Stephen Galtney, our playwright, and say, "Go!" And so, like having to weave all of that and come up with a really beautiful play that's going to change for every single space, going to change for every single audience. Literally, I mean lines. He was rewriting the play every single day, um, and
Literally.
and then having and being able to, as you said before, be responsive to what was happening in the audience because they're in and amongst the audience. But like we don't throw any wine or drop any pillows, but the actors the actors are having to be that awake because sometimes I'm in the back of the room, literally giving direction
Oh my
in a
god.
way of like
Because of the space, because of the thrust of how people were sitting in the museum. Like we're being loud, but it's not going up. So Adam's literally in the back going, pointing his finger to the sky. I'm like, ooh, tilt that head back, get it up over.
yeah.
Yeah, it was,
Oh,
but it's so much fun because that leads us into our question to you because we are now we were last week. I don't know if you heard last week's podcast. Has last week's podcast come out yet?
No, it comes
yeah.
out
It comes
tomorrow.
out tomorrow.
Oh, no,
Comes
It
out
that's
comes out
tomorrow.
tomorrow.
okay.
So we were talking about where we began the question of where theater has to go and what theater has to do today,
Mm.
and we got and because of the word nerds that we are. What's the word for a word nerd? There's got to be a word.
I don't know. I'm sure
There's
there
got to
is.
be a word for a word nerd. I'll find it. Um, and or listeners, let us know. Um, but like we got caught on the word theater
Yeah.
because we were like, what is theater? And so then we like checked Merriam-Webster. Miss Merriam, she was gaslighting us. We couldn't stand her. So her thank God we have a PhD on the board so we can change things. So that definition was we threw that one out. So
Mhm.
we'll tell you what we came up with after you give us your sentence of what is theater. You have your provocation in one sentence, or two, or three. Go for the feeling.
Gosh.
What is
Oh, wow.
theater, Fabio?
Theater. Theater is contact.
Okay.
Okay, I like it. I 100%.
I
I'm
really like
there,
that.
and that goes right along with it because because we have theater in our company name. So
Yes.
it's like we have to know what fucking theater is if
Mhm.
our company is going to be called Theater of Others. So what's our
Mhm.
definition of theater?
Our working definition so far is the live human experience of phenomena that creates alternate realities.
Wow. That's
Of
much better
others.
than contact.
But that's right.
So
So
good.
so what's great about that though, Fabio, is what you said is what we have in ours. So we are still within the realm
Mhm.
of theater in our definition.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So say it again, because the reason why so I go of others because the definition of others is what it should make sense, right?
Yeah.
Because that's our title. Okay, so what is it again?
The live human experience of phenomena to create alternate realities.
Of others.
That's great.
That's pretty good, right?
That's very good.
We're getting there. We're getting there.
So we're getting there. So if you think of anything, let us know. You already have a provocation that you need to let us know what your goal for your life change of the year is.
Mhm.
But what are we doing this year, you and I? We're doing some fantastic things together.
Yeah, we really are. It's such it's really, yeah, I'm super excited. Well, tomorrow we start our every one the first day of the month is
First Monday.
the
Well,
first Monday.
first Monday of the month. Yeah.
First Monday of the month is Miller Motta Mondays, which
Yeah.
is a day for people that have worked with us before, to do satsang in the morning. Then we go into voice work with Fitzforrest voice work, and then we finish off the afternoon. And it's really tailored to whoever's in the room. So we go into either
Yeah.
clown work or mask work. We
Yeah.
work on monologues. If people have a sketch or a scene that they want to bring in, we kind of cater to that. But it's really a day to train the actor to get into your body, to get into your soul, to get into your instrument and practice and work. And that's a
Yeah.
really
It's to stay in the work, essentially, right? It's to stay in
absolutely
the work constantly. Like, I've had graduates from the VCA go, well, where do I go? There's nothing for me to do. Like, how do I stay fit? It's an opportunity to stay fit, stay in your imagination, and stay fit. And it's at the Actors Guild in St. Kilda. So join us, join us, join us, join us.
yeah.
What and then what else are we doing?
And at night, we're running a clown workshop. So we've got 2 weeks of clown. Clown one, Discovering the Clown, starts from the 8th of January till the 13th, and then we've continued the journey in Advanced Clown the following week.
And those
So
are people that have done Clown One, or that have done this training with Fabio and I.
yeah, before. Yeah. So and we've completely sold out. We've got a waiting list, so we're in
I
conversation
know.
with
It's like so we're gonna start another. So listen up because I'll announce another date because we're sold out.
yeah, yeah, we're sold out. So and finally we're also have got dates
This one's.
for
I'm really
May.
excited about this one. I'm really excited about
You
this one,
want to talk a
Fabio. Come
little bit
on.
more about this because this is really special.
Yeah. So many people that have done the work, um, and that have gone to Bali and have wanted to have a mask of their own and also to integrate this work into their practice. We've designed a curriculum where people will train 2 days a week for what, like 8 weeks? Is it?
I think it's 8 weeks. Of May 29th to July 13th. So I think it's 8 or 9 weeks.
Yeah. And through these 2 days a week, you are training and developing a character. And from that character you're developing, we're going to get a mask made for that character from my mask makers in Bali, and then they'll ship them to us, and then you'll have your own mask that you've created a character with whatever scene you're working with. Like, so basically, as if like what like what Fabio was talking about with the Camino dell'Arte troops, you'll have your own stock character for your life. And we also will teach you how to create your own masks for the mask maker to make for them as well. So you can begin to have your own series as well. So I'm really excited about that. This is the next level, and it's part of a collaboration with the Balinese artists that I work with in Bali. What are those dates, Fabio?
May 29th to July 13th.
So you can it'll be up on our website, theaterofothers.com. And also, Fabio, what's your website?
Theclowningworkshop.com.
Theclowningworkshop.com. So come and work with us. And then I also have my workshop that I'm doing as well, the spiritual actor, which is happening in next month for 4 days. That's also up on the website. So many things going on, boys.
Mm-hmm.
So many things going on. Well, this is a part of world domination, of making the theater that we want to see. So you know how people say, like, be the person you want to see, to be the change you want to be in the world. This is how we do it. Join the movement, everyone. Join the movement. And Adam, how will we know that they've done any of these things?
They're going to go to speakpipe.com/theater of others. Again, speakpipe.com/theater of others. Theater with an R-E, theater of others, all one word. Leave a 90-second voice message there. We've gotten a lot of people calling in and giving their life change, their quote unquote not resolutions. We've got some really great things. I can't wait for us to have that episode. But we want to hear what you're going to do, what your definition of theater is, and how you respond to what Fabio gave you today about being interested and staying interested in life. If you don't want to leave a 90-second voice message, you can leave an email at podcast@theaterofothers.com. We are also on Instagram, Facebook, and our website.
On the gram, y'all.
You can find all kinds of ways to get in contact with us there, but you're only going to find out these amazing conversations with these amazing theater makers if you do what, Budi?
Subscribe. Subscribe. Yeah. Subscribe.
Yeah, I say. Yeah.
Yeah. We come to your inbox every single week, 3 years, 5 seasons. We've been in your inbox every single week. And if you really like us, you can do what my Uber driver does. Give us 5 stars. You give me 5 stars? I give you 5 stars? 5 star. It's a zero sum, none gain, lose it all. Don't win, don't lose. We come together, we're together, and everyone's happy.
Yep. That's right. There's nothing wrong with that sentence.
That sentence is that because I have a PhD.
Stop PhD.
I'm allowed to change the diction. I could change the dictionary. We changed the Merriam. Look, Adam, our provocation is when we finally get our definition of theater, we are going straight for Merriam. We're going straight for Oxford, and we're going straight for Miss Webster, because they are what? Wrong. And we are what? Sickening. And if you really love us, if you really, really love us, you can leave us a comment. Because if you leave us a comment, we get caught up in the algorithm of the podcast. Oh my God, this podcast is so good. I can only give them 5 stars. Let's give them 5.13 stars. Put it in the comments. And if you put that in the comments, the BuzzFeed Sprout podcast people, they get excited. They get so excited. We'll become the 1% listened to podcast on the planet. Top 1%. Top 1%. Right now we're top 5%. Because I love that number 5. But we could go to 1%. And if we go to 1%, you know what that means? You know what that means. Adam Harper, what does that mean?
Beyonce.
Who's coming on the podcast?
Beyonce.
Who?
Beyonce.
Beyonce?
Yes.
Before Oprah?
No, of course not. I had to have Oprah first.
Oprah was definitely
first. And Michelle Obama.
And then Beyonce.
And then Michelle
Obama. Michelle Obama, yeah, she's definitely coming on. Michelle was going to come on first, but she already said she was coming on. Fabio, I love you so much.
Love you too.
I'm so happy.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a real honor. And I love the podcast so much. So thank you for doing what you do.
Are you going to come back?
I'd love to. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'll come back with I'll also be working on my definition of theater. Now you've got me something to really think about. Yeah. In the speak pipe.
Yeah, exactly. Anna Marple, I love making you red. You're beet red. And I love you in this hat. You both are so handsome. I'm so happy that you followed my lead. You're so handsome in those hats. So why don't you come up and see me sometime, boys? Come up and see me sometime. I love you both. I love you both so deeply. And for all of y'all listening, we'll be in your inbox next week. Bye!
Thanks for joining us this week on the Theater Brothers podcast. Make sure to visit our website, theaterbrothers.org, where you can subscribe to the show in iTunes, Stitcher, or via RSS, so you'll never miss a show. While you're at it, if you found value in this show, we'd appreciate a rating on iTunes. Or if you'd simply tell a friend about the show, that would help us out too. A special thank you to Purple Planet for the music you've heard. The Theater Brothers creates a shared community of artists and audiences for the purposes of exploring the most profound issues of our lives and times. We believe the play watches the audience. The audience is necessary, and they are witness to what happens. And you get to be witness to us making that happen. The purpose of this podcast is to open up our process and let you in. We're peeling back the curtain, so to speak, and encouraging you to follow along, to ponder, prod, and question, to join us and criticize us if need be. Being a witness is no passive task and requires much from you. Are you up for the journey? Be sure to tune in next week for our next journey.